right. This is a story written in real time based on the randomly generated word. Lasagna. Lasagna. All right. Someone inspecting bricks outside of my house. Very weird. Lasagna. There's too much salt in this sauce, said the head chef. The sous chef had always been terrified of this man and felt that he had performed a great act of blasphemy by oversalting the sauce. The man said, "Why you put so much salt in this?" He said, I thought it was the right amount of salt. What else is wrong with it?" He said, "Well, it's too hot." "What do you mean it's too hot? It's cooking. It has to be hot." "It's too hot. If it's too hot, it will burn my little tongue, and then I won't be able to taste anything. Do you not want me to be able to taste anything? Is that your plan? And then when I can't taste anything, you'll be head chef? Is that your plan, sous chef?" The sous chef said, "Well, no, I want to work my way up. I want to earn your approval, and then hopefully one day the restaurant will be mine. So you do want to overtake me? Well, now you never will. I'm going to live forever." And the sous chef, he just thought he was putting him on at this point. And he said, "Look, you are an incredibly talented chef. There's a reason you've had 10 restaurants, all successful. You're come from humble beginnings, and, well, you've graced the covers of many cooking magazines. You had your own cooking television show. You even cooked for kings and queens all across the world. You truly are a wonderful man, and a wonderful chef, and a wonderful boss. And, well, I love you." And the head chef, he was completely floored. He was taken aback. He initially was so aggressive, but he said, "I'm sorry. Maybe I was a little too harsh on you. I didn't realize you felt this way. I guess I'm so hard on you because the truth is, I love you too." And, well, the sous chef said, "Chef Britniblomm, Chef Britniblomm, what do we do? We work together. Will this ever work?" And Chef Britniblomm said, "Rodney, you and I were meant to be together. I would burn every one of my restaurants to the ground with everyone inside of them if it meant that I could be with you." And Rodney said, "Well, let's not do that. That's too extreme. I don't want to hurt anyone." Why is this man taking away 2 bricks from a wall on the street? Anyway, I don't know. Where were we? So don't burn your restaurants down, especially with people inside of them. That's murder. Then we'll go to jail and we won't be able to be together. And Dr. Britniblomm said, "Oh goodness, Rodney, you've completely gotten in my head. I can't think straight, and I'm absolutely loony with love. I didn't even know I felt it until just now. I had a fire in my stomach, and I was pouring all of that into my cooking, but now you are the object of my fire, and you shall take over this restaurant. I've decided it. I was so hard on you because the truth is you are great, and the truth is there's a perfect amount of salt in this. I just wanted attention from you. I am sorry, Rodney. Please forgive me, Rodney." And Rodney said, "I forgive you, Chef Britniblomm, and I thank you for giving me the position of head chef, but all I want to do is be head lover of you." And Britniblomm said, "Oh, Rodney, you make my heart sing." And so Rodney became head chef of this one restaurant while Britniblomm maintained the rest of the restaurants, and, well, Rodney did quite well, and the restaurant began to succeed even more so than it had before, and the relationship between the two of them went went very well at first, and they both lived above one of the restaurants, and it was quite wonderful. But Chef Britniblomm began to be jealous that Rodney's restaurant was starting to outperform his own, and things became tense. And he said, "Rodney, tell me, what is your secret?" And Rodney said, "What do you mean?" Britniblomm said, "Your restaurant, it's starting to outperform mine, and, well, that fire that once became my love for you it's becoming something else. It's becoming a deep hatred of you and this restaurant, and I don't know what to do." And Rodney said, "Well, I'm glad you told me as opposed to acting on it, but I don't know if that's sustainable. I feel like we need to rectify this somehow. And, you own the restaurant, so it's doing well. It's just I'm head chef." And Brittany Blom said, "That's the problem. The money is fine, but it's the acclaim. It's the acclaim, it's the credit, and I can't stand you having the credit." And Rodney said, "Well, I don't know what to tell you. I can't intentionally do poorly so that I do worse. Would you want that for me?" And Brittany Blom said, "Yes. Yes, I would. I need to be at the center of attention all of the time. You know that based on our bedroom activities." And Rodney said, "Oh, yes, I do, but I don't think it's appropriate in this circumstance. It would tank the restaurant, it would tank my career, frankly, it would tank our relationship. And is that what you want?" And Brittany Blom said, "No, that's not what I want." But Brittany Blom had made up his mind. And one night, during the dinner rush, a fire broke out in front of the restaurant, and Rodney was terrified. He said, "Okay, everyone to the fire escape." But there was a fire in the back of the restaurant too, at the fire escape, and he saw Brittany Blom fleeing into the alleyway, and he said, "My God." He once said he would burn down his restaurants out of rage, and now he is burning down this restaurant out of resentment for me. It was a trick. How dare he? And thankfully, the fire department came and managed to put the fire out. But Rodney went home looking for Chef Britniblomm, and he was nowhere to be found. He had fled into the night. And Rodney said, "My goodness, this man tried to kill me. We were co-workers, then we were lovers, then we were partners, and now we are enemies." And this began a game of cat and mouse. Rodney, he received an insurance claim because it was very obvious that it was an intentionally set fire. They found a package of Brittany Blom branded matches, because he's a celebrity chef, so he sells a bunch of merchandise, right where all of the fires had started. And they were even signed by Brittany Blom himself. And so Rodney filed an insurance claim, and with the company, the Brittany Blom Corporation, and so they had to give him a big payout, and he used that money to employ all of the people who had been his chefs in the restaurant to become his detective agency. And, well, Chef Brittany Blom began to send them taunting letters. He would, and not only letters, but little treats, little dishes. And they would open the dishes and they would taste them. And the letter would say, "You'll never be as good of a chef as I. Your restaurant might have been more successful than mine were, but I am still the superior chef, and as a reminder, here is a small lasagna to taunt you with what you will never be able to achieve. However, the group of chefs were very skilled, and in tasting the lasagna, they were able to tell where he was. They're like, these tomatoes are from this region, and the herbs are also from this region. And so this began a game. This began a chase, a great chase. And so they went to that region, and they talked to a local restaurateur and said, yes, Britniblomm, he was here not 1 week ago. But he left in the middle of the night. No one knows where he went. And sure enough, they received another dish shortly after. And it said, suck it, chefs. I used to employ you. I own you. You'll never be able to make a tiramisu as nice as mine. And included in the package was a tiramisu. And they tasted the tiramisu and they're like, this cream, must be from the cows in this region. They all had a very refined palate, and so they all went to that region and talked to a dairy farmer. And the dairy farmer said, yes, celebrity chef Britniblomm, he was here a mere 5 days ago, but then he disappeared, and no one knows where he went. And sure enough, they received another package, and it said, I own you, you're my chefs, me best at food. And Rodney was like, oh my god, his mental state is really declining fast. A life on the run does not suit Chef Britniblomm. And sure enough, they received another package. And it said, my potato is best potato. And it was just a potato. So it was clear that this man was on a rapid downward slope, cognitively speaking. And sure enough, they knew, this is the golden power potato. The golden power potato is only grown by these 2 farms in this region. And they went to the farms and talked to both of the farmers. They were farms right next to each other. And one of the farmers said, yes, Chef Britniblomm. He was here not yesterday. We don't know where he went. And Rodney, he smelled something. And he followed his nose to a barn in the back of the facility, and there he smelled a sauce being made. It was a buttery squash sort of sauce. And he followed his nose, and in the top of that barn there was a small fire burning, and there was a big pot on that fire. And he was like, my goodness, this is the most delicious sauce I've ever smelled. What's in it? And there was a ladle and a sign next to it, just a little like a note card, and it said, you will never create a dish as beautiful as this. And he tasted it. He was like, my goodness, this is the most delicious thing I've ever created, or I've ever tasted. And the other chefs, they tasted it as well, and they're like, it is. He was a madman, but he really is the best that ever was. And they took another big ladleful and poured it into a bowl to continue eating it, and they saw a finger with a ring. That was Chef Britniblomm's. And they knew the sauce was him. Ha 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 ha. The end. Fade out. Horror. The terror. The humanity. My goodness. And so is the legend of the mad chef Britniblomm. The end. That went totally off the rails, and I am here for it. There we go, guys.